think I'm going to call this video just What's Right Doesn't Change. We are on Broadway. This is one of the oldest streets in Denver. It was the first one that they widened due to so much commerce and good things happening in Denver. Right now, I'm on my way to the grocery store again. I go to the grocery store a lot because I don't know usually, where I'll be for so long and how much food I can store there. I just can't go to the grocery store. I have to carry it all back on a scooter or something. It's icy now. This sidewalk's pretty clear, but it's just better if I walk. It's some exercise and it's safer. And I need some fiber. So I'm going to the grocery store to get some of that stuff. This video, took a nap today. And we'll probably be up late packing, helping that guy pack. But wanted to talk about, when I woke up immediately, I thought about something people have said to me here in Colorado and people other places have told me, and I want to say I know people are saying these things because they mean well. That's so key focus, make sure that you know that I know that. But what I'm referring to, there's the club. What I'm referring to is the fact that they're saying, forget about your dad. Let your parents go. But a lot of it has been because the focus has been more on dad. Because my mom is not the one sleeping with a 7-year-old boy. And if she was, you best believe I'd be doing the same thing. But I wanted to say that I can't forget about my dad. And I want to tell you this part. It's kind of hard to be walking down one of the biggest streets in Denver and doing this video, but I'm multitasking. And it's good for me physically and to just emotionally get all this out. And then when I do, I feel so much better. And we get it online and I know it's up there. So I'll get mugged tonight and never make it to see the morning. We have this information, so someone can keep it going after I do. And the best times I used to have with my dad, let's say we went to Hot Mountain and or anywhere, Stone Mountain, Roanoke. When me and Dad, before 2019, when we were having the good old times, as a teenager, adult, even old kid, didn't matter. We would often, have one of them days we'd just go out exploring, and I think it was great. My dad used to take me to new places all the time. It's kind of why I said in another video, I feel like I'm built for this. Because my dad was always excited to take us somewhere new. And being homeless, you're always going somewhere at one time. A lot of times, no. I've been to this grocery store, I just haven't walked down the street because it's too dangerous to take a bike or a scooter. I'm walking over ice right now. But I wanted to tell you, a lot of times me and my dad would go having great days, and a lot of times we might go home or to a motel room. Hold on just a minute. There's homeless people on the street right there. It is probably 26 degrees. And that's what they'll be spending the night. Anyway, going back to the point. So we would come home, we would get back to where it's time to watch TV. A lot of times the show we would watch will be To Catch a Predator or Dateline or one of those kind of shows that they would come on. And my dad would always say, he said this many times, I bet your parents probably said the same thing too. And he would say something like, that is awful, what happens sometimes like that. And he would say, it is better to be a whistleblower than to err on the side of caution and get it wrong, because it's a child's life. And so, I went back to West Virginia, and my dad tells me, I'm going to leave you here in this cabin, and I'm going to go have a sleepover with a 7-year-old boy. And he comes back, tells me he had pillow fights, and he's giggling. And the only person that my dad is talking to the entire time that I'm with my dad this year, the only person other than me he's talking to, Uncle Mike called a couple times, and he dealt with Uncle Mike. He didn't want to talk to Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike wanted to talk to me. But my dad made sure that never happened. Other than that, the only person my dad talked to was this little boy. He would call him, but as voice would get, you know how adults turn to a kid voice or a little cuter voice? That's how my dad would do. Like I was talking about one of my cats back in the day before they got killed. And, you know, so my dad put me in that position this year. You need to know, I've already waited about a year to make up my mind and fully decide this is going to be how it's going to go. Because I can't forget about my dad. How many out there of you know your dad? How many of you out there want to know your dad? Never got to. And how many of you know your dad? I ain't forgetting them. How many daddies do you think I've had? I might not like the one I have, but I will not be forgetting him. My purpose in life is to remember, because everyone else in this family is forgetting things left and right. If I don't remember, put this on YouTube, and you know what it feels like. I'm putting one more foot in the grave every time I put up a video, because it just feels like, well, I have kind of completed a quest. And that point to remember, backed up, clear as DVD on digital TV screen. My dad used to say it is better for someone's reputation to just go up. And you know what? He ain't been really the defender of much at all on this, has he? We don't know where he is. Nobody knows where he is. I'm calling all his buddies. None of them say me no shit. And they ain't helping me either, so he shut them up. And they're just awful people anyway. How about that? Won't name any names, but you guys know who you are. Then we got people on the sidelines. People like Marcella Giotto, Campbell, that restaurant, City Hall, Fire Department, all that. Shane's person knows right from wrong. And she ought to say, you know what, Nate? You kind of buck wild. But this is some bullshit. We're going to look into it. I'm going to be watching your dad. She ain't. Saying last time I heard from Markella, I was trying to get in the house somewhere. It was in the cold. I didn't have his coat. And Markella just couldn't take it anymore. So people like that. No. I already dealt with that at Starbucks. The weaknesses of other people. The inability of people. There was another man. There was a man I met in Gilbert. And I met him. We were cleaning up in our yard. And we found a coal miner's helmet. And he was like, Nate, I have his helmet, because I knew the person from like years and years back. We just found his helmet with his name on it. And he knew, somebody's dad knew. Anyway, that was the relationship we had. He was coming up from Florida to visit. He was just like, can I have this? I was like, yeah, you can have it. Yeah, and he tells me to fix the relationship with my dad. And he's one of the number one people that donated on that GoFundMe to go see my dad. And you just think about this. My dad made me homeless in 2016. And then I posted that GoFundMe. And how much confidence did you think I would have going not to the parent who killed me, or tried to kill me? If I was you crash cart meds, that would be my mother. I got a lot of parents, so it's mom, the original one. But how much confidence did you think I have going from being homeless across the country to going back to the parent that made me homeless? I didn't have much, okay? Didn't have much confidence that was going to work out. And guess what? It didn't, because he told me he was sleeping with a 7-year-old boy, and he was. He went to go see him. That was the only person my dad talked to. But, you know, it's just like, back when my dad, before he had them heart attacks, and before he became a product of WVU Medicine, enhanced with titanium, there was no disclosures, no instruction manuals. Nothing was said to me from WVU. They just gave me the award for excellence and laid me off in the same month, because it's just WVU and Gordon Gay. People like that will get you killed. How operates. So, I mean, Think of it, not been trying to reach Dr. Sean Bolger and Ellie Elliott. They're boomers. Okay? I don't work anymore and they're boomers. So, it's just WVU. Ain't Duke. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I'm at the grocery store. I gotta go get my fiber. But the point of this video is, it is just kind of like my dad told me when I was a little kid. If this ever happens, it's just better. Know what you know? To be the whistleblower. And he put me in that position. How do you think it feels to be me? Don't say you can't imagine. Actually try.
Let me come on.